Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi there, my name is Putri Andini. You can call me Putri, and my student number is 2024 74 79 001. I'm a student of the Master's Program in English Education at Unindra, and today I'm going to present about using social media to boost English as a foreign language. Learning is about tips and strategies, and I hope this presentation will be informative and useful. All right, thank you for attention. Well, social media is no longer just for fun. It can be a powerful tool for learning English, especially English. And as English is used globally, learning through platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, that it can improve our language skills naturally and enjoyable, obviously. This presentation will show you why and how that we can use social media effectively to boost our English skills. Okay, the next. Okay, next is about the table of the contents. As you guys can see that, I will mention about why using social media and then the benefits itself, and also I will also give some advice like best social media platforms that we can use and effective strategies, and then the tips, of course, to stay motivated and focused, and then possible challenges and solution, and last but not least is about conclusion. Okay. Next, the first one is about why use social media for English as a foreign language learning. Okay, I've already mentioned several points here on the right side, but of course, I will give some additional explanation, obviously. The first one is about accessible and engaging. Well, most students already spend hours on social media, of course, but they also need to learn something from social media, right? And then the second is about authentic language exposure. Well, we need to learn how English is used in a real life situation, such as slang, idioms, and also casual tone. Okay, as you guys can see that here's an example about the idioms that I've already mentioned. And then the third one is about visual and audio rich content. Well, it can actually helps us with listening, vocabulary, and also pronunciation. And then the last but not least is about global community. You can communicate with native speakers from around the world and easily without meeting them like in offline situation condition. Or maybe other learners from another world or from another country, we can just use our social media easily. Okay. And then the next slide is about the benefits of social media for English as a foreign language learning, and also learners. Okay, the benefits are, for example, here is about improves the listening and also speaking section. We can use that by using through the short videos, voice notes, and live streams. The second is about boost reading and vocabulary. We can use that through the caption, traits, and maybe posts from the social media. And then the third one is about enhances writing practice by writing comments, posts, and caption. Number four is about encourage consistency, such as daily content helps from a learning habit. And then the last but not least is about fun and motivational, such as we can just look up through some posts about memes and then reels and games and make learning exciting. Okay, so you guys can see that on the right side. Okay, I've already provided some interesting memes in English, obviously, and it's actually fun, right? And it makes me want to learn English more from the social media, especially from memes, yeah, for example. Okay, and then the next, I will give you some advices about best social media platforms and their learning uses. Actually, I use all of them here, and I'm really sorry for the YouTube application. It's actually like you can't really see that very clearly, but yes, okay, maybe you guys already guess it. Okay, some platforms that I will advise is the first one is about YouTube. Yeah, we can use that by watching these vlogs and then listen to podcasts and do shadowing from the dialogue from the YouTube videos. And then the second is about Instagram. I think Instagram is the most usable application, or maybe the TikTok one, if I'm not mistaken. We can follow English tips pages and also post stories in English as well by using our new vocabulary that we get. And then the next is about TikTok. We can learn phrases and grammar through short creative videos. And obviously, there are some great influencer, especially some online teachers as well, that we can see, that we can watch, and we can learn, of course. And then the last but not least is about Twitter. And we can read short and then real life English sentences and some traits that can be beneficial for us. Okay. The next here is it. There are some effective strategies for English as a foreign language learners on social media. Okay, well, the first one that we need to follow English only pages or account to stay focused. As you guys can see that on the left side here, I've this is actually my favorite platform. Yeah, this is actually Boardical. Yeah, I just follow this account actually to stay focused, and they also provided some what can I say, some English exercises, but mostly it's about grammar, English structure, and all, and even the idioms as well. But I think that's a good thing, right? Because when we have to look up through the social media, such as the Instagram one, we need something refreshing. I can tell you that. And then we need this kind of accounts, such as like this. So we can follow this one. And the second is about engage, don't just scroll. So that's why I love this page because we can answer some question and also use the save feature to build a digital notebook, of course, vocabulary notebook, I mean. And the next is about, yeah, we need to post our own content in English, obviously, such as journal entries, mini vlogs, or maybe even reviews. And then the next is about imitate native speakers, right? Like we need to repeat short phrases or shadow dialects. And the last but not least, we also need to use hashtags like learning English or maybe English tips to find learning posts. Yeah, so we can find our people, we can say that share the same similarities like us. Okay, well, don't forget to follow this account as well because this is actually a good account. All right, this is not advertisement. I'm really sorry that. Okay, the next one, there is it. Okay, here is it. There are some tips to stay motivated and focused while learning English through the social media. And also, I will give you one more recommendation. One of my favorite YouTubers, yeah, Lucy. She's actually very beautiful and then has a beautiful accent as well. Yeah, her jargon, we can say that, speak beautiful British English. Okay. I've already mentioned several. Here is it. The first one is about how to stay motivated and focused. Yeah, we need to set a daily or weekly goal. For example, 5 words in a day, or maybe like 5 new vocabularies in a day, or maybe like 20 vocabularies in a week. Well, that's totally fine. And then the second is about follow creators who match your learning style. In my opinion, I'm really share the same learning style with Lucy, so that's why I follow her up. And then the third is about avoid distraction. I think it's actually like a bit difficult to avoid some distraction, especially if we are using our social media, right? I know it because I speak from my experience, but of course, by limiting social media time with learning purposes, I think it would be more beneficial, and of course we can stay motivated and focused as well. And then the last but not least, we need to celebrate your progress, yeah, or we can call it as self reward, we can say that. Okay, for example, you can just memorize like 20 vocabularies in a day, and then after you did that, maybe you can watch your favorite English movie, maybe, such as your self reward, we can say that. Okay, the next is about possible challenges and also some solution as well. The first one, okay, number one is actually getting distracted easily. The solution is maybe we can use timers or maybe learning only accounts. Yeah, so we also need to separate our private life and also our professional life. We can say that. And then the next is about low confidence. Yeah, start we can do that by start by watching and repeating some online dialogues from the social media or maybe from your favorite English movies. It can be very helpful, of course. And the next is about too much content. Okay, the solution is to focus on two until three creators or platforms at a time. And then the last is about misinformation, such as follow trusted educators or verified pages, like I've mentioned before, such as the boardical platforms. Yeah, they're already verified accounts, or maybe Lucy one. She's also like an English teacher, so I think she's a good educator as well. That only one of the example, but of course, you do have your own solution, maybe, and better than mine, obviously. All right. And then the last is about the conclusion here. Okay, this is my favorite sentence actually. English is fun because most of the students they think that learning English is actually very difficult, but of course, no, if we have this sentence in our mind, which means English is fun obviously. All right. Well, social media can turn our English learning journey into something fun and effective, of course. As long as that we already have some tools, and then Ryan already mentioned as well some social media that you can use. Well, now use them with purpose and also be consistent, stay active, and let English be a part of our digital life. That's it. Okay, the last but not least, this is actually my last main page here. My last slide. Okay, there are some follow, practice, engage, and also repeat. Okay, so I think can we just do this? Yeah, let's follow by three new English learning accounts maybe, and then trying one new strategy from this presentation. Maybe it can be very helpful, but of course, don't forget about English is fun. Okay, I think that's all from me. And okay, I think that's all from me. Sorry for the mistakes. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.